Kia ora tātou. In the headlines, the Crown has confirmed it'll be seeking a lengthy prison sentence for former Bridgecorp directors found guilty of fraud. Rod Petrusevich and Robert Roost have been found guilty of all 18 charges they faced, and both have been remanded in custody. Fellow accused Peter Steigrud has been found guilty of 6 out of 10 charges against him and has been granted bail. The Education Minister is relieved that a sex offender who was found working in a number of schools has pleaded guilty and has had his name suppression lifted. Te Rito Henry Miki pleaded guilty in the Auckland District Court today for breaching an extended supervision order and 7 charges of fraudulently using a document, including a CV and birth certificate. Minister Hekia Parata says she's pleased with the guilty plea.
That will now proceed to sentencing. I think it gives certainty for the whole school sector, but for those schools in particular, as to what the current situation is.
The United States has charged the self-proclaimed mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and 4 others accused of the plot. The military trials will be held at Guantanamo Bay. If found guilty, Mohammed is likely to face the death penalty, and if he's found not guilty, he and the others will spend the rest of their lives in jail. Back home, Maritime New Zealand has charged the owner of the Rena over its grounding on Astrolabe Reef. 6 months after the event, Greece-based company Dyna Shipping has been charged under 2 sections of the Resource Management Act, which relate to discharge of harmful substances from ships in the coastal marine area. The charge carries a maximum fine of $600,000 and $10,000 for every day the offending continues. The charge has been laid in the Tauranga District Court and is expected to have its first call on May the 25th. Mighty River Power is giving the thumbs up to its pending partial float. The state-owned enterprise is the first to be partially floated in the government's partial privatisation program. Labour MP Clayton Cosgrove quizzed Mighty River Power Chair Joan Withers on the merits of the move at a parliamentary hearing today.
Do you think it's a smart move then to sell off such a highly profitable asset, even a minority stake? Has the board formed a view?
The board has formed a view that the transaction, if it goes ahead, will be in the best interest of the company.
Rest stops are being set up for those hitting the road this holiday weekend, complete with free coffee, sausages, fruit and water. State Insurance is sponsoring a drive to remind travellers to fend off fatigue. Official figures for last year suggest 30 people died in crashes where fatigue was identified as a factor. And Auckland's Easter show doors are open, and already the crowd numbers point towards a record long weekend. Organisers say they've lined up the biggest range of entertainment yet. Artistic Director Keith Brown says they've had the highest ticket sales for a Thursday for 10 years. And finally, fragments of a centuries-old manuscript from the time of Emperor Charlemagne have been discovered sewn into some of Auckland Library's oldest books. Staff noticed fragments of manuscripts sewn into a late 15th century Bible and in 3 of the Latin Bible's 4 volumes, which originally belonged to a monastery in southern Germany. An English expert believes the fragments are from around 800 AD, making them more than 1,200 years old. Incredible. That's it from me and the Rema Newsroom. Remember, you can catch our hourly headlines on Shine TV from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. from Monday to Friday. Nō hora mai.